That's true. More continue here in this parade today. A black Mercedes convertible makes it this way, and this is the Humboldt City Schools Superintendent, Dr. Verna Ruffin, or Dr. Percy Hamlet. Dr. Verna Ruffin is Madison County. I've still got Madison County in my mind.
That's all right.
Good to see Dr. Hamlet today. It's weird. Sometimes you read things, Tony, but you say the right opposite.
You see something else?
But at least I got one of the names right. And what's bad, Tony, is I'm not doing too many things at one time. What'd you lose there?
Earpiece.
Oh.
Thank you, Casey.
And we start to see some floats make their way now. We're about 25 minutes into this parade coverage here on Good News 93.1. And here's the territorial royalty for the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. And the queen is Morgan Martin. First maid, Shelby Ballot. Second maid, Sophie Tatum. Third maid is Sarah Ford. And fourth maid, Abby Huffsteller. And, Tony, I will apologize if I mispronounce any of these names of these young ladies. Some of them are tough. They're pretty young ladies on their float today. Of course, those pageants are coming up this weekend, Tony. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few, what time those are. Of course, all the floats yesterday were pulled by hand. It's the non-motorized parade on Thursday, and now the Grand Floats parade is all pulled by the trucks and other vehicles. 10:26 right now on this Friday morning. Thanks for listening to us at Good News 93.1. We continue with our parade coverage. It's good to be along with you once again beside Tony Reeves.
Territorial reviews tomorrow, John. A lot of activities tomorrow. Let's run down them right quick.
Yeah, lots of things happening.
Starting out with the 5 and 10K runs with the registration at 7. And the race begins at Bailey Park at 8 a.m. Car show at 8 a.m. at Viking Park. Barbecue cook-off from 9 till 2 at Viking Park. Tractor show at Viking Park at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Pet parade, 9 a.m. registration time. Parade begins at 10 at Viking Park. And at Bailey Park tomorrow, Arts in the Park begins at 10 a.m. and goes to 6 p.m. Miss Teen Territorial Review at 1 p.m. at East End Elementary School. And the Territorial Queen Review at 6 p.m. at East End Elementary School.
Well, here's the Little Miss Territorial Royalty. That's Queen Ramsey Kate Krause. First maid, Nadia Presson. Second maid, Callie Cash. Third maid, Paige Smith. And fourth maid, Kylie Tippett. On their beautifully decorated float. And, Tony, a lot of work goes into making these floats. A crew that really, really works for months to make these look this good. Again, we have a short break here in the parade as other entries begin to make their way up the parade route in front of the reviewing stand, which is also located across from the former Main Street Elementary School, now the Humboldt Higher Education Center. Again, thanks to the City of Humboldt, along with People's Furniture Company and Robin Ellis Paint and Body Shop, some of our sponsors of today's coverage here on Good News 93.1.
Call our sponsors and let them know you appreciate them sponsoring the broadcast here on Good News 93.1. They step out on a limb to do it.
I definitely so do appreciate their support. And many long-time sponsors.
The reason I say they step out on a limb because the fact that a lot of them have been hit up for all kind of donations and for events and floats and everything in the way of reviews and horse shows and all that.
Again, here's the entry for the Humboldt Strong, a big event they put together after the tragic shooting and attempted bank robbery of Janice Frisbee here in town at the Bancorp South a couple of months back. And they got together with Humboldt Strong, came up with a motto, and had the banner signed. And Janice is in the parade today and well-deserved to ride on the back of a car. A very blessed lady. Tony, I'm not sure if you read her story, where she was actually shot twice in the shoulders, once towards the chest, and a necklace she had actually reflected that bullet away.
Wow. Very lucky young lady.
And great to see her today with us here in the parade. Very well deserved. As you can hear the sounds behind us, a big crowd today has gathered for this year's Grand Floats Parade. Many, many thousands of people here today, Tony, in downtown Humboldt. There's Miss Janice as she passes by in front of us now. Again, a very, very blessed lady. The band judges are right across from us, Tony. They're sitting up on the hill in front of the school with a great view. And they've got a very, very hard job to pick the best of the best.
They sure have.
More of our royalty begins to make its way up the parade route. Here another large float.
This is the Hostess Princess royalty.
And the queen is Juliana Seals. First maid is Hannah Milam. Second maid, Allie Privet. And third maid, Maya Day. Fourth maid, Karen Allen. And, of course, Juliana's mother, Jennifer Seals, who was a former president of the festival. And also her mother was a former queen, Hostess Princess as well. So a long tradition here for many, many families at the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. You know, she's very excited to be a part of this and to serve as the Hostess Princess.
Thank you, sir.
Again, another beautiful float that's been put together. And following behind them will be the junior Hostess Prince and Court. And the queen is Jolie Morgan. First maid, Katie Alexander. Second maid, Savannah Allen. Third maid, Shania Collins. And the fourth maid, Ellie Bale. And Tony, she's not as tall as some of the other ladies.
No, she's not.
Humboldt Utility Department following behind, and one of their bucket trucks. They've been busy out early this morning fixing the flags that go down the parade route. Those youngsters having a good time riding on that large bucket truck. Some of them riding up in the bucket as well. The West Carroll Marching War Eagles from West Carroll make their way down Main Street. We'll listen to them as they play. That's the West Carroll Marching War Eagles as they perform for us here in marching by the band judges in the reviewing stand. There's an antique tractor making its way up this way, Tony. Looks like an old John Deere.
Probably be in a tractor show tomorrow.
Which I believe starts at 9. Is that 9 a.m.?
9 a.m.
That'll be at Viking Park here in Humboldt. This antique tractor is a 1955 John Deere. The driver is Don Williams. Great looking old tractor. 1955 Model 50. And, of course, another antique tractor is going to follow. It's always a staple in the parade to see the antique tractors on Friday. I'm sure many of our listeners, Tony, are very familiar with a lot of these old workhorses. And these all beautifully restored as well. You're listening to live parade coverage of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival Grand Floats Parade on Good News 93.1. It's about 10:35 rather this morning. So glad you've joined us. Beautiful day in downtown Humboldt. I believe, Tony, this is an old Oliver 550 from 1964. Frank Dotson, driver of this old tractor. Nice paint job on that one, Tony.
Sure is. Bright red and green, gold. Bet the thing's done a lot of ground turning.
It definitely has. Looks like it's been retired to just show off a little bit now.
Here comes one even older.
This should be a 1925 Farmall regular. Mike Privet, the driver on this one. And they'll make their way up the parade route. Not at as fast pace as many of the others.
Not as fast as the cars, are they?
They want to go a little slower today.
Smaller engines with a lot of horsepower. A lot of torque.
And, of course, all these tractors beautifully restored. And many of these, again, Tony, will be in that tractor show tomorrow. Plus many, many more entries, too. That classic Farmall. And following that one, Tony, another classic tractor. It's a 1958 Ford 601. Mike Carnes, the driver today.
These tractors will be on display with many more tomorrow, excuse me, at 9 a.m. at Bailey Park. If you're a classic tractor enthusiast, you need to be there for this big event.
Another float will begin to make its way here up the parade route. Looks like a dinosaur theme here, and from Bedrock. I believe that's Fred Flintstone right there, Tony.
Fred was marching yesterday.
That's Dynamite Kids. That is the students of PDS. That may be Presbyterian Day School.
That's it. There's the moms and dads.
Tony, here are the floats, and I've got the cars. I believe that's the order of them. That was H1 right there, if that helps you. Here's some of our friends from the other broadcasting stations in the area. Friends from Thomas Media. And they'll have many of their entries in today's parade, and their vehicles all decorated up. Our very own Brad McCoy and Greg Rivers going to follow a little bit later towards the end of the parade today. They're in convertibles. And again, Tony, we want to say thanks to our sponsors today, Jones Companies Limited, also Papa Chuck's Small Engines, as well as Farmers and Merchants Bank and Three-Way, the Humboldt Chronicle, and Dover Automotive. Again, we talked to Mayor Marvin Sykes yesterday. He was telling us the excitement that's been in Humboldt all week long with many of the bands that have been performing on Main Street. And that continued last night. Again, more of our friends from some of the other radio stations in the market. Froggy 104 and their entry in the parade. Tony, coming up next, folks from Channel 7, WVBJ in Jackson. 7 Eyewitness News, many of their personalities and anchors marching behind and walking behind their vehicle today. Good to see Brad Douglas. He's driving today. Kelly McAllister follows. Some of the other personalities. Tom Miner's over there. He's got a dog with him today.
That's the weather dog.
There's Scott there from Star 107.7. Good to see Scott today. Tony, one great thing here in West Tennessee, many of the different radio broadcasters all work together for many events. Many charities and fundraisers have always partnered together. It's good to see all our other friends from broadcasting that we all know here in West Tennessee. Good to see our friends from Win 106.9. And Joy Parker. Also our friends from Kicks 96. Pepe Le Pew makes his way up the parade route again, Tony. Another beautifully decorated float with a lot of youngsters on it. And a big crowd of mamas and papas following behind. This is
sponsored by Bonnie's School of Dance.
Yes. All those young ladies on there.
Very stinking cute dancers. Dancers ages 3 and up. Miss Midle Middle and Miss Midle Elementary School Queens on board.
Get a lot of volunteers make those floats, Tony. A lot of time and effort goes into all that crepe paper that's on that.
Walmart runs out of crepe paper during the Strawberry Festival.
Yeah, many of the Walmarts. The band from Chester County and the Marching Eagles making their way up Main Street. So they're very casual today in their outfits and attire. They're going to perform for us as they make it up this way. And we'll listen to them as they get here. Looks like one young lady performing in a wheelchair today. It's great to see her get to be in the parade.
Right. Playing the flute.
From our friends in Chester County, picking up a newer song there, Tony. It's always neat some of the marching bands pick up new music, too.
Yes. Some you can hear.
Yeah. You familiar with what that song was they're playing? I'm all about that bass.
I thought that's what it was.
We'll just leave that alone today.
Don't step on it.
Another entry follows up here on Main Street. A very nicely decorated Chevy Silverado. My buddy Carson Reno there makes his way up the parade route. Gerald Darnell, local author. I guess he ain't singing that today. He's written many books, Tony, that are dealing with, it takes Humboldt people but kind of changes the names around. Fun stories. They've got a tent down the road here set up. A lot of things happening down that way today. Again, a special thanks to our sponsors making our coverage possible today of the 78th Annual West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. This is the Grand Floats Parade. It's the big of the 2 days. People's Furniture Company, also Robin Ellis Paint and Body Shop, Pritchard Real Estate and Appraisals, Farm Bureau Agent Rob DeLoach, Humboldt Pawn and Sales, that was Rachel's Diner, Dover Automotive, the Humboldt Chronicle, Farmers and Merchants Bank and Three-Way, the City of Humboldt, Papa Chuck's Small Engines, and Jones Companies Limited, our sponsors of today's coverage here on Good News 93.1. You can also listen online to us at goodnews931.com. There's live streaming audio available to you, so if you're anywhere around the world or on your cell phone, you can download smart apps too and listen to Good News 93.1. Well, coming up next, here's our friends from the Victory 93.7 over in Milan, Stevie Ray Heyman. And who is driving today? And that is one Gail Gustafson. Got to work with Gail for several years, and me and Gail are kin, as we say, by marriage, Tony. Again, good to see our friends in the Victory. Here's the Milan Royalty on Main, and their float again today. Of course, yesterday, Tony, these were pulled by hand. These young ladies here in their stop-and-go red light in the center.